TYT Sports back with some Champions League recaps now. I will touch on many of the games in the second clip, so you can stay tuned for that. Talking about Bayer Leverkusen and Roma. What a friggin' game that was. Anyway, Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Now, I was looking at this game thinking slim pickings at half-time. There was some chances for either team. I did fancy Bayern Munich to break the deadlock, if I was being honest. Xabi Alonso was just spraying passes left, right and centre. I did say that he pings it like no other, which he does, but Arsenal never really looked too worried. Now, there was times where Vidal would find that gap between their holding midfielder and their defensive line and ping a couple of shots in. Cech made a good save. Lewandowski had some nice touches, but there was something in the air. Something in the air of this game that just made me think, is this Arsenal that we've seen before when they've played against bigger teams pull out a monumental, is that a word, Jason? You can shout from the back. A victory that just stands out from others. And this victory, although it still just takes him to 3 points in the Champions League, still rooted at the bottom, but only 3 points off both Bayern Munich and Olympiacos now, is just a huge victory. Now, I will touch on what it means for Wenger, as you can see, and what it means for the team in a little bit, but let's just talk about how they played in the second half. Sharper passes, throwing their fullbacks forward. Bellerin looked an incredible threat throughout the game. Now, that guy, I've never really taken notice of his speed. I would love to put him, Douglas Costa, Gareth Bale, Theo Walcott, and who else is rapid fast? Ronaldo in a 60-yard dash and see who would come out on top, because those guys are so fast. He was just, it wasn't markable when he was getting in behind. He was coming up against not a slow fullback with Bernhardt in Bayern Munich's half, but was still just leaving him in the dust several times, and it was only a matter of time before it would pay off. But anyway, before we get to that goal, which I will touch on, Olivier Giroud coming off the bench, gets on the score sheet. A rare mistake from Neuer, who made some incredible saves throughout the game. One save took the internet by storm. Many people couldn't just grasp how a goalkeeper could get to that ball. The ball looked like it was destined to go into the back of the net, and he somehow clawed it from a destined goal and kept it out for Bayern Munich. And once again, proving why he is the best goalkeeper in the world and why many people should never doubt him. But he couldn't keep this one out. It was a rare mistake, lack of communication. The ball finds its way into Olivier Giroud. I don't think he knows it's coming. He's expecting Neuer to take it or one of the defenders to put it out into Rose. Finds its way to him. He does what a good striker does, and he anticipates that the ball is going to get to him. And I think it just scuffles off him. Don't know what body part, might be in his head, neck, shoulder, teeth, whatever. I don't think any Arsenal fan cares. It found its way into the back of the net, and Arsenal regain hope in this game, regain hope in the Champions League, and what an incredible goal it was for them to score. And then after that, I have to give a lot of credit to him. Now, despite a moment of genius from Lewandowski flicking the ball through Koscielny's legs and just so nearly pulling the trigger, which would have been destined to go in the back of the net, because it is Lewandowski we're talking about. Koscielny does good to recover. A little bit dodgy, could have potentially caught him if Lewandowski decided to unleash his right foot, but he instead hesitated and ended up bundling out. But apart from that, Arsenal looked comfortable holding possession, and in the end would get a second goal, crucial goal, goal line technology for the win again. Bellerin, just a move before it, found space in behind. He couldn't convert, won a corner, but then this time he finds space, cuts it back, and Ozil's shot. Neuer again trying to defy, I would say, physics, define what his body should be able to do, and tries to claw out, but this time it just goes over the line, and Arsenal come away with a incredible 2-0 victory at home against possibly the most informed team in the world at the moment. And that's the only way to put it, is Arsenal, Arsene Wenger, can now breathe a little easier. It's a victory in the Champions League. Playing this way, they should be able to beat Olympiacos. They should be able to catch them for that second spot. Now, I don't think Bayern Munich are suddenly going to hit self-destruct. I think that they need results like this to bring them back down to earth. Thomas Müller and the likes of him say that they like when they have to come back from adversities, such as the game against Wolfsburg. They like when they're challenged, because in Germany I don't think they're challenged enough. But they were definitely challenged here. And the Emirates was rocking. Arsenal fans right behind their team. And there's a lot of criticism, me included, that I put on Arsenal. And a lot of YouTubers put a lot of criticism on Arsenal. The true Jordan. But I think that when credit is due, we'll be the first to put our hands up and say, this is a good result. But do you not see why it becomes frustrating with players like Cazorla and Ozil and everyone clicking when it comes to the crucial games? It becomes frustrating because you want to see it week in, week out. They have the talent. They should be competing against these teams week in, week out. They should be winning every Premier League game, or as much so at the Emirates, and pushing forward and being the title challengers that they well and truly could be. I think that Arsene Wenger had his game plan set. They were going to try. They weren't just going to try and sit back and allow Bayern Munich to press them. They had a full court press, as we would call in the US at certain parts of the game, when Bayern Munich were allowed too much possession, and it paid off. They caused some unforced errors, and in the end got a result which came down to putting on some pressure on their own and relying on their own talent in the attacking third. So credit to Arsenal, great victory. As I mentioned, I'll be coming with a second clip talking about a just simply phenomenal game of football between Bayer Leverkusen and Roma. So stay tuned for that. And as always, follow me on Twitter at Francis_Maxwell. Check us out here at TYT Sports. Subscribe. Send us your comments in the section below. What do you think? Did Arsenal deserve this? Bayern Munich, what's going to happen with them from this? The answer is nothing, but we'll see. Thanks again.